You joked about us not bringing you back, but you were a little silent for a while in the music industry too, going, come on, what about this one album every other year? Come on, right?
Absolutely.
And I got a little insight for this because we were just in Washington together. But when I heard your heart on this, tell me why the silent part a little bit and where God's bringing you now.
Yeah. So in everything that I've always done, I've always wanted to make sure that it's the Lord leading, because you don't ever want to steer the ship because it will crash and burn. So I'll just start there. So as time went on, I got to the point where I was out of my record deal, and I had to step back and go, okay, I could continue to do this because the Lord is blessed and I'm super thankful, but I want to make sure it's actually Him saying to do this, because I got to the point where sometimes, as you know, sometimes in the industry, the focus, as we were talking about, there's some things that can just be off. I started getting to the point where saying, God, I can't do this unless you're 100% behind this, and I'm doing this for you 100%. So I did. I backed off for a while to make sure that I could wait on the Lord. And it was really a sweet time for me. And He asked me, He said a question to me. The Lord just spoke to my heart and said, what's your heart's desire? I said, God, whatever it is that will bring you the most glory, and that people will come to know you or go deeper with you, that's what I want to do. So whatever that is, if it's not music, I'm okay with that. But if it is, that's great too. I said, I just want that to be the focus. And the Lord literally just goes, great, I want you to do this again, full on, with all of your heart, with everything that's within you, to go for it. And I ended up signing with Capitol Records, and the things that God has done, infusing Himself, because I know it was Him pressing forward on this new record. I mean, I can't even tell you what's been happening just in my heart and the shows and what God's doing. But it's because I knew that the end-all goal isn't the success of it. The end-all goal is that, if God can use this to raise the platform, that's great. But the end-all goal is to see Him be more glorified and His kingdom be lifted up. And that's truly why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so, and to watch now kind of that come to fruition is going, I'm more excited about doing this now than I ever have been, 100%. And I have more clear-cut vision and purpose than I ever had before as well. And it's just been a really exciting time, and I'm so hands open to whatever God has.
That's it. Go ahead, clap again. I just get it. If I'm honest, if I'm selling the albums he's selling, and he has done 25 national tours, I mean, if you're having this success, I'm sorry, I'm not like, should I continue? Can we be honest? Oh, let's just put her in cruise control and keep going. But let me tell you this, all of us, even the things that God are blessing and blessing the past, to pause and make sure it's for His glory, not for our ego, not for ourselves, not even just for a paycheck. What has God called you to do? And that's why, just to hear the heart for yes, America, you have a heart for America to turn back to Jesus, but the heart for the world, like that's compassion. And I joked about this, honestly, I'm sorry, but the tattoos, but I got a picture of him standing like this with 2 kids in Honduras hanging on each arm. And it was just amazing, but what was so cool is this, God has given us who we are, but to see compassion turning back to make sure it's evangelism. Did you know this? Through compassion, 400,000 kids received Jesus Christ last year. 400,000. So I don't know if you know this, but I want to just can I tell them something that you guys might know already? We're going to Haiti. We're bringing Lifest to Haiti in 2016. All right? In the end of January, we're going to the north side, right by the border of DR. You're invited now.
Okay, sweet.
Okay. But we're going to Haiti to do a Lifest. And what we're doing is we're working with Compassion. We're trying this summer at every festival. I'm at 18 festivals this summer. We're trying to get 500 kids sponsored. And if you sponsor a child from Haiti, there's some cost to get them there, but you can maybe meet your child for $300 extra dollars, and that's how real this is. Because you can actually do it. So please, Compassion is here. Take a look. We have a medical team going. We need a drama team going for Children's Vacation Bible School. January 2016, we're going to Haiti.
Let's
all
do
right?
this.
So please, come with us, pray for us, let's do it. Couple more questions, I'm sorry. I have some fun, just dumb ones. Superman or Batman?
Superman.
Who would you be nervous about meeting?
I don't know. Who would I be nervous about meeting? My
Father-in-law.
father-in-law, yes. I will say, can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
So
Cheers.
I was nervous about meeting my father-in-law because he flew in. The first time I ever met him was right before me and my wife's wedding. Wow. He's from South Africa. And so I wasn't able to meet him, and I'd had to talk to him on the phone, that was it. I met him, I think it was actually a week before our actual wedding, and he's like, can we go to lunch? I was like, yes. So I was just like,
that's awesome.
father-in-law.
Let's end here going forward. Speaking Louder Ministries.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be content. I mean, we're going to worship with him tonight. It's we were just together in two or three places. Yeah. Washington and North Carolina. Can I just say this real quick? Reset. Together 2016. Yeah. They're trying to get over 1 million people on the mall in an election year, and it's Together 2016. No agenda but Jesus. Yeah. And Jeremy Camp will be there. He's a part of it. Yeah. We were just together there with 145 national leaders from all over the country, the world, coming together to pray, just to call America back to Jesus. Yeah. And we're praying for over 1 million on the mall. Will you join us there too, okay? Yeah. God is calling America back. Amen. But why this? What is Speaking Louder Ministries? Why not just music? What's going on?
Yeah, so I'll make this as brief as possible because it's going to be a whole long story. But
that means about 5 minutes. Go ahead.
10. So we, just with what God's done in the platform, I was reading one day and it just said, go into all the nations and preach the gospel to all creatures. And I was sitting there and I went, okay, God, I mean, that's what we're kind of doing, right? And years ago, I'd had this vision of going around the world and doing this. Years ago, when my wife was sick, actually, before she went to be with the Lord, have cancer. And I remember we had these visions together of like going around the world and preaching the gospel, doing these free events, and just having people come, anybody come. And so as time went on, I had written a song called Speaking Louder before, years ago. And all of a sudden, something birthed up inside me again, and I went, it's time. It's time to start doing this ministry. It's a nonprofit ministry where we literally go over into different nations. We've been to Ukraine, which is before all the upheaval happened. We were in Kiev, Ukraine. We did an outreach. We went to Kyrgyzstan, which that's a predominantly Muslim country. We had a lot of threats being there. It was that's a whole long story. But the Lord moved in such a radical way. And I remember our missionary friends that brought us over, we did this stadium event. And 8,000 people still showed up after they were on the news channel saying, don't come to this event. It's provocative in nature. It's going to agitate the people. So we knew that there were threats now because they started feeling like this was going to be, because it's against the law to proselytize. And here I am going to go preach the gospel, And, but I didn't go trying to stir controversy because they initially said I could go talk about Jesus. You just can't have an actual conversion moment. Well, as things started getting a little crazy and some threats started happening, we're like, all right, God, should we still do this? And his spirit just went, boom, and said, you're going to do this and you're going to see my power. So we played that night. 8,000 people still showed up. Which with everybody saying, don't come, don't come. But when I said the name of Jesus, 2,000 people left. Just saying the name of Jesus. But 6,000 people stayed, and I remember there was a dark cloud. This is crazy. There's a dark cloud all around surrounding the whole area. I have a picture of it. And right above us, it was as clear as day. God was literally putting his hand right over the stadium. It was radical, and it didn't rain on us at all. And so I remember that night, after I shared and God's Spirit moved, it was really powerful. I got to share about Jesus. I couldn't say you want to accept Jesus. And people came down and talked to a lot of the people that were in the area. And we had like 200 police officers around because we had a lot of threats. And we left, and our missionary friends got kicked out of the country because of the event. But they said the churches have now stepped up because there's no more fear now, because they're saying if we can do this event and an American can come over and preach the gospel in our country, why can't we? So the churches aren't living in that fear any longer, you know what I mean? So Really radical. So we're doing stuff like this, and like you're going to India in August. Well, we're doing preliminary trips too. January is the actual event.
Well, plus Haiti.
Yeah, and Haiti, yes. Haiti and India. And what we do is we go over and do projects like roof building project, projects. We do workshops with pastors and worship leaders, and then we do the event. And after this whole event, evangelistic event, we have disciples